Conflict in relationships are inevitable. They happen all the time and can ebb and flow in any relationships or with parents and children. I think the most important thing to understand about conflict is that, first of all, it's important to have a strategy to deal with conflict. Sometimes people tend to take more of an aggressive stance during conflict, and they can become verbally aggressive or passive aggressive, which is not really helpful. On the flip side of it, some people can become really passive and avoidant, which also is not really helpful. And really what we want to develop our skills towards is being assertive, to be able to talk about things as they come up and to be able to communicate thoughts and feelings and to be able to challenge things when they don't feel right or when something's not right for you, to be able to speak up. I think the challenge is sometimes figuring out certain things, because obviously not everything is worthy or needing a conversation to be challenged, but to be able to understand when it is important to speak up. So sometimes that's a personal piece, and sometimes it is valuable to take a little bit of time to think about something before we react and are needing to jump into conflict. And sometimes it's important just to kind of put things in the parking lot and to think about it and then come back to it. So just knowing that conflict is inevitable, and just because people have conflict does not necessarily mean that they're not friends or that they don't love each other or appreciate each other in a family relationship. It's just learning ways to address conflict as it comes up that becomes really important.
So if you're dealing with a conflict with a friend, I think that first of all, it's important to think about your own emotions in the relationship and the boundaries that you've set with that person, and whether they are healthy boundaries, and whether you're being respectful to yourself and to the other person in your interactions. I think it's also really important to keep in mind that you only have control over yourself and what you do, and unfortunately, you don't always have control over how the other person responds, and sometimes it's important to accept that as well.